Like, hey you, come on, sit down. You're sitting at the grown-ups table. I'm your host, Jesse Pimpinella, and as always, my partner in crime,
John Jacobs.
He's back. He's back. He's been on sabbatical.
If you call it that. Well, we did take a 2-week break, and then for the last 2 weeks, I will say the sickness has enveloped my entire house. We got that nasty head cold that's been going around. I know that a bunch of people have also gotten that as well. It kind of ran rampant. I mean, when you work at home and kind of don't really go anywhere unless it's a necessity, and you haven't been sick in almost 2 calendar years because of that, any little thing that comes in your house, bam, it's just going to hit you. So, unfortunately, somehow it got in our house, and everybody's been sick off and on for the last couple of weeks. I'm on the mends. I'm still a little congested. I'm super, super tired all the time still. But other than that, I'm back. So it's great to be back on the show. Real quick, I just want to compliment Bill Arundel 2 weeks ago and last week Ryan Hillsman for, really going out and helping out and doing picking up my co-hosting duties. That was fantastic. And I just really wanted to give a quick shout out and thank both of those guys for stepping up and really helping fill the shoes of the show. So Bill and Ryan, I thank both of you so much for stepping in. Love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You guys were awesome. Yeah, it was a blast having them on. They were just a fantastic bunch. But anyways, we're back. And today we're going to be talking about another great topic, which is horror anthologies. Now, before we start, I want to say like and subscribe to our Facebook page as well as to our YouTube page. Episodes will be up the next day. I got to get the last week's episode up. Shame on me. I got to get that up. I did not get that up. I just realized, but I will get that. Anyways, so we're going to talk about horror anthologies, and we thought of one friend of the show that would be an excellent candidate to bring on to talk about this. And trust me, she is a huge fan of it. And I believe she had a burlesque show called Bitchcraft, and I hope I'm remembering this correctly, based on the American Horror Story show, Coven. So please, without further ado, give it up for Astraea, everyone. Give it up for Astraea.
You were also very, very wrong about that. Shame on you.
Yeah. What was it?
So I was trying to put all of the shows in chat, and then I realized, holy shit, I have so many of them. The Bitchcraft variety show is basically, it's an all-female showcase. I have burlesque, comedy, and drag. Not necessarily inspired by American Horror Story Coven. I wish I had time to throw that together, but no, it's just called Bitchcraft, and the performances are going to be basically witch numbers, and then we have Amber Folter, we have a lot of Olivia Smith. I have Alexa Irizarry coming from Cleveland. Just lots of awesome female comics are going to be there.
Well, that looks really awesome. Yeah, I accidentally assumed it because I remembered the Madison Montgomery phrase Bitchcraft, so that's why
I actually I also play her in Temptation Burlesque's American Horror Story series shows. I've been doing that for they used to have a regular one, and they're bringing it back basically, where they do a show for each season, and each time I get to method act. The first one I was the maid, and I was flirting with everybody. The second one I was Shelly from Asylum, so I was
nice.
flirting with everybody, and then I cut my legs off and dramatically drug myself across the entire bar, because if I had to be stuck with Shelly, I had to be dramatic about it, you know what I mean? But I played Madison. That's why you thought that. I played Madison last time, and I get to be mean to people. That's what I'm good at.
And your living hell is working in retail, essentially.
It really is. My 2 living hells would be working in retail, or stuck in a bathroom, in the middle stall. I can't leave. I can't poop. I want to poop and I can't, but there's 2 dudes on both sides of me, and they're just having horrible diarrhea, freaking me. And have you ever been in an Olive Garden bathroom and heard the music that plays in there?
Yes.
That's the music that's playing. It's just creepy music that you don't want to get R-worded to. Or sit next to somebody who's taking a shit too.
Right, or sit next to someone who's taking a shit, exactly. In a restaurant. Like, that's the worst place to shit. That or a dirty gas station, one of the two.
That is just uncomfortably detailed, and I love it.
Yeah,
like,
man. I mean, that's what
any
table's all about, man.
An Olive Garden restaurant.
I had that realization literally in an Olive Garden stall while somebody was shitting next to me. I'm like, I can't. Like, this is it.
Oh my God. So anyway, so today we're going to talk about horror anthology. So let's kind of discuss what a horror anthology is, because it's not as simple as what we think it is. There's all kinds of like hybrids and stuff like that. So I mean, the main thing is it's a body of work that is comprised of many different stories, vignettes, anything that, and these short stories can be written by famous authors like Stephen King, or it could be originals made by the director. But also there is other types of anthologies. They could be episodic, or there could be a season arc that's the whole season, that's the whole story. There's nothing more to it after that. It's done. Another one that's now being done is a hybrid. I know you.
I'm hot. I don't want to turn my air conditioner on because I can't hear you.
You got your Katana fan.
There it is. So then you got the hybrid, which is a movie with a just one storyline, but it has a bunch of vignettes, either by the character telling a short story real fast and then going back to the main storyline, having nothing to do with it, which is a lot like what Tales from the Dark Side does. If anybody's ever seen that, it's spiritually that's Tales from the Dark Side. That's a movie. It's a spiritual sequel to Creepshow.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the show, man, with the awesome intro music that scares the shit out of every child who watches it.
Well, yes, it is a show too as well. So yeah, it is a show. But yeah, this was like a spiritual sequel to Creepshow. The movie's pretty good. Essentially it's just a kid who's stalling for time because a witch is going to cook him. So
nice.
He tells a bunch of stories.
It sounds like an R-rated version of Hocus Pocus, man.
It really is. It really is simply that. But yeah. So anyways, so let's get right down to it. With our guest being here today, Astraea, is there a show you specifically would like to kick off this episode about?
Can we talk about the VHS movies?
All right.
Because I feel like everybody forgets them, mainly because like all we ever really remember are the horrible ones because we had to sit through them to get to the good gems. But there were a couple good gems in the VHS movies. You just had to really sit there and wait for them. But they were
that was it. And another cool thing is it was produced by Bloody Disgusting, which I don't know if anybody knows. That's like kind of a cool online horror magazine. I watch it. That's just what I do. But I mean, read it. But no, these had some really, really good storylines. And now I was told to bring this up. The one vignette, the one that I remember specifically, is the one with is the woman a vampire, a succubus, or
I don't know why everyone thinks she's a succubus or even a vampire, because like when I saw it, first of all, this is the first short. This is the first short, I guess, is what they would be called. Yes. They're long, but they're short. So this is the first short of the first movie. And so like, okay, how does it not register to everybody else that she's obviously a harpy? She looks like a bird. They like made her pointy too. Like they made her more pointy and birdy, and she like all of a sudden flies off of them at the end. But is that the only dick rip that has been in a horror movie? Like ripping a whole dick and balls off?
Well, they cut a dick off in Hostel 2. Remember with the
I need a dick rip. I need a good dick rip.
Well, now in the Carrie sequel, The Rage, the kid from Home Improvement got the harpoon through his dick. It shot out his ass and went in the swimming pool. Does that?
I forgot about that.
Yeah, you did, didn't you? But I reminded you. There you go.
I feel like
she's like a harpy, and she like is like seducing. You think, I don't know, I guess like I was reading about this and people thought she was a succubus because she was like seducing him, but like to me I'm like I don't know, she didn't look like a succubus. Listen, she looked like am I just being an asshole, or does she look like a bird? She doesn't look like a bird. They made her eyes like really big, and they like made her kind of like, okay, she doesn't look like very, very bird-like in the entire time, but like they make her look more bird-like in certain situations. And it's like, it's very subtle, but you're like, this bitch looks like a bird.
She does. Now that you say that, she does. I think
I don't mean to go all sunny. It's always sunny in Philadelphia, but that bitch is a bird.
When I first watched it, I just assumed it was just a demon, right? Like a generic demon, right?
Yeah.
But now that you're saying a harpy specifically, I agree with you. I totally see it. I didn't necessarily think it was a succubus, but I can see how people thought that. Again, to your point, because of like the allure and the attraction and whatnot. But I'll throw in with you. I'm gonna go with harpy. That makes total sense now.
Well, like at the end, because like it's weird too, because she like you can't really tell if she's just like wants to fuck this dude or she wants to eat him. I'm still not sure because like I feel like thank you, Def. She is a harpy.
Yeah, Def.
So I feel like it's now that I think back on it, it's like you think that she's just trying to fuck him, but also like I feel like she's a freak and she's coming down for food. Not a freak like she a freak, but she's like a freak of nature. And she like only knows one way to like snatch a dude that like looks good or whatever that she wants to eat, and is to flirt with him. Like, what else is she gonna do? And then she flies away with him with fucking talons for feet.
True, very true.
So harpy, come on.
But it could.
Well, one could argue that a succubus could. I mean, talent. I don't know.
I mean,
a succubus could
I'm not a demonologist. I don't know.
If anybody could Google this, because we're too busy doing a show right now, Google this for us.
Yeah, Google it.
Put it in the comments, and we'll pull your comment up on the show
and help us out.
Real quick, so I watched this like a long time ago. I'm pretty sure I watched it when it actually launched. I think it was Netflix when the very first one launched. And you know, Astraea, I totally agree with you. There are gems and then there's stinkers. I've changed my position a little bit because I do give credit to filmmakers who try, and you know, maybe they couldn't realize their vision because of money or technical ability or actors or whatever the laundry list is. But I still give them credit for trying. But I remember when I watched the first VHS, this is the only one that stuck out for me where I was like, wow, this was well done. And it was a combination. It was the kind of the first act, which was her like alluring the guys. And then the second act was the transformation in the hotel room when she's killing that other dude. And then the other dude like locks himself in the bathroom and he's freaking out and he keeps checking. I'm like, bro, why are you opening the door and looking? You fucking know what's out there. What
yeah, like you have ears. Just listen to it.
Your buddy is getting murdered. And then we had the third act where they're like trying to escape, and then she gets him, and they fly away. So
he I think she accidentally breaks his arm or something.
Yeah,
no, he falls. He's running from her and falls down the staircase.
Falls
and
down
lands
the stairs.
On his arm.
Yeah, and I really like that because in an anthology with a short story, it was still like a 3-act play within that short story.
Yeah.
And I just felt like it was so well done. And I really love the makeup of let's just start referring to her as a harpy for what she is. So I really love the makeup that they did for the harpy. Like I felt like that was the one that was really well done. And I don't necessarily want to shit on the other ones because like I said, there's, you know, Quentin Tarantino always said there's always a positive in every film or TV show, regardless, you can find one thing. And, you know, these guys tried that, you know, they put their heart and soul into it. So I'll give them credit where credit is due. I only watched the first VHS. I think there's like 4 or 5 of them out now.
Yes.
Are there? I've been meaning to get back to them. I just haven't got around to it, but I am going to watch them.
5.
Because I think there might be like I might look at them differently now that I've kind of changed my position.
And just be clear, just so nobody corrects me, 5 including Siren, which is the spin-off movie.
Oh, okay.
Just so people don't think like, Jesse, are you crazy? I'm like, no. There's a spin-off.
Well, also like the first one, like heavily relied on like. There were tits in every single fucking
one.
There
was.
It heavily relied on like shock value, sex stuff that like because probably the budget. I don't really know, but there was definitely like tits in every single fucking one, like at least once or twice.
Yeah.
But
I forgot to mention
about the other ones too.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, definitely we can talk about. So some of the other ones I know they had were the honeymoon one, and then I know. The other one was
the honeymoon one where like you think that they're both getting murdered and then like it's just a chick that murders the dude and then bangs the wife because they were in on it. Like I was like, what is this? Okay.
Like, what is this?
Ooh, murder porn.
Yeah. What's so great about this anthology is this is one of the ones I was talking about where there's a framework to it, where there's a long narrative that has vignettes all throughout. So the main narrative, if people don't remember this one, if I remember correctly, there's a tape that is found, and they're trying to, and they enter into this like house, and like there's a dead man, and then they start watching the tape, and all these vignettes are on that tape. So we're watching with the main characters.
And then doesn't he he comes alive in like the last one or something, and like attacks the dude. Is that the same dude that like it carries on, like he's missing like in the second one, or did they like completely swap? I can't remember.
I can't remember, but no, I think the guy comes to life. No, this is the one that does.
He definitely like that was. I remember the first time I watched that, me being like, me being really freaked out about that for some reason. But there's another one where like some guy got like an implant in his eye so he could see in one eye, like in one of the eyes. He got like an ocular implant.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah,
he was able to see ghosts. And then there was a girl that got an ear implant and she could hear the ghost, and he picked up her ghost. It was like her uncle or something. That motherfucker was gross and fucking scary. And he was just like this old man with like black, I don't know, and just in his underwear, and he's just like gross. And that freaked me the fuck out. But he ended up like getting killed by them. It was like kind of boring, honestly. But
well, here's the thing.
I don't want to harp on. Oh, go on. Sorry, I'm getting lagged.
Oh no, you're okay. I was just gonna say. I wanted to know what drew you to choosing this first. I mean, it seems like this movie franchise made an impact on you, and I just wanted to see what was it about this that sort of stands out for you as an anthology.
That's a good question. I just like what I like for no reason.
Hey, that's okay.
I think honestly they sold me at the dick rip, and I was like, okay, like I'll give you, like I liked this. I didn't really like the other ones, but you know what? I'm invested. You're gonna be ripping dicks off. Okay, I'll watch the other ones.
There you go. That's what kind of movie we're in store for. You ripping dicks off. I'm in.
I like excessive. Granted, I don't like cheesy violence. It's got to be pulled off, but I love. Just like you can ask like Cecil anytime, like when anybody gets like shot in the face or something, when it's super graphic, I'm kind of fucked up, I guess. But like if there's ever a head smash or like something that's like, I literally I get so excited, or I'm like, oh sweet, like I get like all duty. I'm like really like excited about it. And he's like, you're fucked up.
All right,
do you like the Saw series?
I do. I don't know what I do. There's something about it that I don't like. I think that it's just like too excessive for some reason. Like I need a surprise head smash. I don't want to like sit there and like wait for it, and I know it's coming, and then I'm like, I need to be surprised and impressed. You know what I mean?
I got you.
That's a very interesting concept. But before we move on with this, any final says for VHS?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to finish them, I promise. And next Halloween, we'll talk about the rest.
Okay, I have one last thing.
Yes.
So I forgot about this one. This was another gem out of them.
Okay.
And it was like, I believe it was in the second movie. It was like a cult. Like they were doing a documentary on like a cult in like Indonesia. And so you were just reading subtitles the whole time, but like it was okay. I am a sucker for like, it's because I like grew up like in church, like, and I'm just like, I want the rapture I want doomsday. Like I want fucking demons to come out of the sky. I am a sucker for like any apocalypse situation with demons. Like I fucking love it. So it was like this cult, and like it's like super weird, and they live on a compound. There's like kids in a classroom, and they're passing, and it's like in Indonesia somewhere, I don't know. And so like one of them is pregnant, like I think one of the interviewers is pregnant, and she like tells him, and it's yours, and then they're having like that separate drama. But they're interviewing like the cult leader, and he like in the middle of the interview, like an alarm sounds or like a bell like starts going off. And then he's like, oh, it's the time has come or some shit like that. And then talks over the loudspeaker and sets off a like mass suicide where they're poisoning the kids and everybody shooting themselves.
I remember this.
And there was like one scene when he's like running away, like where like there's just a room full of people and they're just standing there in white shirts, and then they just pull up a gun and shoot themselves in the face at the same time. And it's surprising, like I like a good head shoot. And then like he's like looking for the pregnant chick. She was taken. He like catches up to where she is somehow, and there's like an explosion. Then he like gets up because something happened. And the cult leader dude is like covered in blood in his underwear and comes out and said, "Oh, it's been done," or something ominous like that, and then just explodes and guts everywhere, which was also pretty cool. Like the budget for this one was pretty cool. He finds the pregnant chick. She's being held down by like screaming like undead bitches, and he breaks their arms off, which was like weird and didn't make sense, but whatever.
Yeah.
So a demon literally like rips out of her stomach, like as if like she's a portal, and like just comes out of her body like a full-size fucking like Baphomet. And you had me there. I was like, this is what I've been waiting for. I loved it.
Wow.
And so the dude runs, and everybody that just shot themselves is all like undead now. That's like another thing, like in the Rapture, is like there's undead, like everybody's like there's fucking zombies. Like I want it so bad. And then I'm gonna jump onto the nearest floating Christian and sneak up there. But the demon, like I guess the demon follows him. He gets in the car. The car is like flipped, and he's like sticking his head out, and the demon like comes up above him, and it's like it's kind of cheesy, but like it's still like a goat demon thing. And then it calls him like Papa or something, like Dada, and then he starts like hysterically laughing, and then it just ends. I don't know why, but I do know why. It's the demon shit. I'm a sucker for any demon shit.
You sold me on that. I'm gonna watch VHS 2 just for that story. I love cult stories. I love demon shit.
It was weirdly so good.
Yeah.
Like I love religious bullshit. Like
absolutely, me too. I can't get enough. I love that shit. So yeah, I am sold. You already sold me on it. You had me at cult. I am in. I might even watch this tonight. Like I am really excited. I really am. Like.
Oh, especially when you grew up in one.
Well, luckily I did not, but I could understand where the pleasure comes in a little bit more if you did. So
I literally worked on a Christian TV station. Like I answered prayer lines.
I'm sorry.
Un poco. Yep, I know. Anyways, so let's jump on to our next one. John, is there a specific anthology you'd like to bring?
Well, let's do Creepshow, man.
Ooh, I love Creepshow. I'm so glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
So Creepshow, everybody, it's based off the old EL comic books, and it has the character Creep, who tells us stories via comic book, and I love Creep. I absolutely love Creep. He is just, I love the one little short before one of the little vignettes started. He literally is carving a pumpkin, and then some Bible salesman comes, and you hear screaming, and he goes back onto the screen, and he finishes the pumpkin, and the Bible salesman's eyes are in the pumpkin. That's beautiful. And but it's an amazing thing. So John, tell us a little bit about Creepshow, how it impacted you. What do you think works about it? Gush about it.
So first of all, 1982. Everybody knows that I love the 80s. Some of the best things that I think this 3-generational crossroad we're in right now came out of the 80s. And Creepshow did not let us down. I really like the fact that there's a twist between horror comedy and there's kind of like some horror thriller. You know, there's paranoia. There's a little bit of everything, and I appreciate that, because the comedy aspect, like the one with the plants, that's just straight comedy. It's overacted on purpose. The comedy is there. Look, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure those were all pot plants, because anytime they do a close-up of the plants, there's always pot leaves.
Definitely.
I'm just going to say it was just a giant pot meteor that was turning the whole earth into one giant pot plant, because that's what it really looked like. But I love the guy's descent into madness when he's realizing that he keeps turning, and he goes to get in the bathtub, and dude's like, no, you don't get in the bathtub. That's a really horrible idea. So he's just like, Okay. And he just sits there and lets it happen and then just shoots himself at the end. And then meanwhile, you just see the greenery growing and growing and expanding and expanding. So the comedy aspect was definitely there for me. But I had two specific favorite ones. The first one is Father's Day. And let me explain to you why this is so great. It is every father's goal in life to grow up and to just become a son of a bitch where other people have to take care of you and you can get away with just being an asshole. Like, it just happens. Find old dudes. Like 90% of them are this way. It's just something that happens. Okay. So you have one of these son of a bitches who treats his family like shit and he just wants his cake. I want my cake, and he dies and he comes back as a zombie and he tortures his family and he murders them all because he just wants his goddamn cake. And since he's a zombie, he wants his cake, but he wants a head on the cake too. And he succeeds in that goal. And I see like the comedy aspect to that. And, I feel like if I could achieve that in life, then I feel like I lived a plentiful life. So, that might be a goal of mine. We'll see what happens.
But I think the one thing I do love about Creepshow is a lot of the history behind it, which I think is fascinating because Creepshow for me, okay, so obviously you got Stephen King, Romero, hot at the time. Tom Savini, for those who do not know, is one of the best gag artists out there. He amazing, right? So, and one of the cool places, this is one of the birthplaces of Greg Nicotero, who is another famous makeup artist, man, who actually he visited the set as a kid because, and it's so funny that now he's making the TV show on Shudder.
Yes.
So I always love that so much. I think it's amazing. I want to throw out Tom, that chief one is an amazing one. But here's my favorite all-time Creepshow. It's in the TV show. Here it is: Bob Ross versus the Evil Dead.
I still haven't seen that one. I need to watch it.
Love that one because basically it's like a Marvel's What If the Raimi brothers didn't write Evil Dead but found the Necronomicon and tried to sell it at an antique roadshow. and then terror and madness assumes and Bob Ross has to fight the Evil Dead, and it's so good. It is, and that's what I think what makes it so amazing is like the cheesiness is fun. It's like and that's what makes it such a good content. It doesn't take itself too seriously, which allows it to do crazy things. It allows the makeup effects to not always be that great, but sometimes fantastic. Like I still love in the first movie where the cockroaches fly out of that guy's throat.
Dude, E.G. Marshall, man, he played the president in Superman 2. He nailed that role.
I just loved how like overly racist and mean he was throughout that.
Oh yeah, he's another bastard, man. He deserved those cockroaches eating his ass, man.
You just knew he was gonna die. You're just
absolutely because you don't care about him from the very beginning. You're like, oh, he's a germaphobe. Oh, he's an asshole to all of his employees. Well, this guy's gonna die. Can't
he's annoying. Please kill him.
He keeps like threatening everybody's job. He's like, if you don't do this, you won't have a job to run. Man, fuck you. What kind of CEO are you, man? Threatening everybody's job all the time.
A good one.
That's such a joy in horror movies is watching the asshole die. Like even outside of anthologies, like what would you say was like a good asshole dying moment in a movie where you were just like like if you were in a theater, the theater applauded?
Oh, I've got one. When in the going on Romero and Tom Savini, the remake of Night of the Living Dead, where Barbara shoots Cooper right in the fucking head at the end. I'm like, yes. Now, my daughter and I watched this over the weekend because, she's 10 and she's very curious about horror, and I'm trying to introduce her to things that I think she can handle. I don't want to go too intense, and plus we all know horror has sex, drugs, and rock and roll. So it's like hard to find things that trying to be irresponsible, but yet like allowing her some space parent, because look, my parents didn't care what I watched, and, I care, but, I want to like, let her experience. So we actually watched that over the weekend and she totally picked up on it. Like she picked up on all the themes. She understood everything. She was like, he deserved it when he got shot at the end. I'm like, hey, you figured it out. Good for you. And then the kind of at the end when Barbara's having the analogy, like, they're us and we're them. And my daughter's like, yeah, I get it. She's like, it's the same context. So, I would say for me, that's always been a big one when Cooper gets shot, because, it's Barbara killing a human being, but she doesn't give a fuck. She's like, here's another one for the fire. I'm like, yes. That it's Cooper's
Great
fault.
line.
Everything fell apart because of him. So nobody cares that she killed him. He didn't care about his family. He didn't care about anybody else. He didn't help. He got in the way of everything. And he was just an asshole the whole time. No one cared that he got killed at the end.
Mm-hmm.
It was a celebration.
How about you, Astraea? Was there a movie where you were just like, fuck yeah, about time this guy gets it?
I mean, there's a bunch of them, but for some reason, the only thing that is swirling in my head is Midsummer.
Oh, I just watched that movie. I hated it. I hated it. Oh,
I'm a
my
sucker
God.
for, listen, if you, okay, I get that the girl, because, like, until I made Cecil watch this, like, I didn't understand how, like, insufferable she was. But, like, I, like, from, like, anytime it's, like, good for her, I'm like, yeah, fuck that guy. And it's like, no, like, her should just break up with her. Let's just break up with her. Like, that's what I, like, why are you inviting her? Just, like, if you're not gonna, like, you're also being, like, a dick to her, and her family just fucking died.
Yeah.
Her sister killed her fucking family and killed herself. And, like, you're gonna, like, be a weird dick and you forgot her birthday and all that shit. I was like, nah, fucking kill him. Like, I was so happy. Well, actually, in that movie, that's an instance where it's like, oh, that fucking, I don't know. He looks like Sid from Toy Story. That guy.
I knew who you're talking
more
about.
More than the boyfriend dying in the bear costume, that guy dying. I fucking hated that guy.
Look,
I think the funniest scene in that movie is when they were all sitting at the dinner table and you just knew his cup was filled with period blood. Because of the whole thing, like, and like his cup was like obviously a different color, and we're just all watching it like, oh no,
don't drink it.
It's part of the ritual. It's part of the ritual.
So look, I'm gonna say it right
Satisfying
now.
head smash also when they fell off.
Very.
Sorry.
That is satisfying, and yes, it's a technical film. It's wonderfully shot. The color palette is great. The soundtrack is great. But the movie is a complete ripoff from The Wicker Man. There's hardly any originality to it. The only difference is the dude blows his load before he gets in the bear suit and dies. That's the only damn difference. Like, they drew this out another hour. This Ari Aster just keeps ripping off other movies. Hereditary, Paranormal Activity 3, Midsummer, fucking Wicker Man. What movie is going to plagiarize next? But people keep praising him. Like, I hate this fucking guy. I hate his movies. But I'll still praise
that
the technical aspect. Yeah, no, that fucker has wasted like 5 hours of my time. He got me for movie theater money on
okay,
Hereditary.
like, I haven't seen Wicker Man
oh
for some reason. I don't know why. So now I'm going to watch that.
Well, you got to watch both. You have to watch the original one and the Nick Cage one. Don't watch the Nick Cage one first. You got to save that for last. Because he's in a bear suit and he starts knocking women out left and right in the bear suit. So you need to save that for the end.
I would too. Nigel, I agree. I would too. Because that scene, like, when I watched that movie, I was laughing my balls off because I was like, Nigel, what in the hell am I watching? This is the weirdest.
Yeah. The original is much better. When you watch the original, Astraea, you're going to be like, oh, he did rip off this movie. And then maybe you'll look at
Then why put him in a fucking bear suit? Like, fuck. This is stupid.
And there was already a Midsummer movie that was made years ago that was almost similar to his. So you just need to get an original fucking idea. Stop making these artsy horror films.
He tricked me with the good for her shit. I would have never known if you wouldn't have told me. He tricked me.
Yeah, he did. He got you.
You just got to get me mad at a dude, and I'm like, yes.
Maybe they'll make a movie where his dick gets ripped off, and then we'll all have satisfaction.
I hope that one day you could just do a TED Talk on Ari Aster movies.
Oh, God. And I keep saying I'm not going to watch anymore, and then I do, and then I get mad at the end. Like,
you just walk on stage with white sneakers and khakis. All right, I'm here. I'm John, and I'm going to talk to you about Ari Aster and the fuckery he's been doing.
Right. Let's talk about how he plagiarizes his movies and people just let it happen.
Yeah, but anyways, let's go back to Creepshow.
Yeah. So let's talk about what is, in my opinion, the best story from Creepshow, which is the Leslie Nielsen and pre-Cheers Ted Danson story, because that's the breakout, in my opinion. you have two actors playing characters that, to my knowledge, they haven't really played since. And they are also very polar opposite to what characters they typically play. My God, what a breath of fresh air. Leslie Nielsen as a psychopath had me convinced. Ted Danson as the helpless womanizer had me convinced. And let me tell you, Ted Danson committed to that fucking role. He let Leslie Nielsen shove sand in his eyes, sand in his mouth, smack him around. I mean, he committed to that role. He allowed all that to happen, all that water and sand splashing in his face. All that was real. He let all that happen. My hat's off to Ted Danson for that. And what a horrible way to be tortured and killed. To be buried up to your neck in sand and just wait for the tide to come in and slowly drown your ass or bury you, whatever happens first.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty methodical. And hey, I like it, right? So in my opinion, that's the best one from Creepshow. I could watch that all day. Just like I said, everything from the acting to the concept. I like the way it was shot. I like the torture scenes. The one thing that I think would have been better, instead of them coming back as zombies at the end and doing it to him, it would have been cool for them to both come back normal, alive, like they got out somehow. And that he and Becky, were they, whatever they want to make up how they got out, and then they torture Leslie Nielsen instead of being zombies. But I understand it's Creepshow, so we have to have that. You know, that's my only, I mean, that criticism is so far down on the totem pole that I just wanted to throw it out there. But yeah, it's absolutely my favorite from Creepshow. I could watch that all day.
Yeah. Astraea, was there any Creepshow shorts that caught you and you were like, wow?
I was just gonna say that one. I'm like, yeah, I love Leslie Nielsen, and like, I don't know. I just like, I kind of like was attracted to him in that for some reason. I love psychopaths. I don't know why. I'm like, wow, okay, this is working for me. All right, like, throw sand in my mouth, daddy. Like,
if you ever open up, if you ever like get into the horror business, I hope you make merchandise T-shirts that say "Throw sand in my mouth, daddy."
Me and Cecil are actually going to be filming. Like, I work with Columbus Independent Filmmaking, and one of the directors like wrote a script like for me to do, like, it's basically like a zombie apocalypse short.
Yeah.
And we like ended up casting Cecil with me, just because like it would be like funnier, so it's gonna be like funny and scary. But we're like stuck in a trailer together during a zombie apocalypse.
I love it.
So I don't know. I'm pretty jazzed about that.
Hell yeah.
Well, keep us in the loop with that. Like, if they're like, when you get to the premiere, when it premieres one day or whatnot, please let us know, because I would love to talk about that with you. But let's wrap up with Creepshow. Like I said, it's another fun. It's a fun horror anthology that span from movies.
Well, what's yours, Jesse?
Oh, I said the Evil Dead one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The Evil Dead. I'm a sucker for that. If you put Evil Dead on it, I'm like, okay, I love it.
Well, what about
I just remembered, because you actually said trick or treat when we started this. The little like, okay, you think he's like a scarecrow, like the little kid that basically like comes around and you have to give him candy or else he'll kill you.
Yeah. Like
on the Trick or Treat movie. Yeah. I loved that. I thought he was so cute. Even when he took his stupid little like scarecrow mask off and he had the gross, like weird pumpkin alien demon face.
Yeah.
But I just love because he goes to kill that guy at the end and then he accidentally stabs a candy bar. And then so it's like, oh, all right, I will take this candy bar. I'll see you next year, old man. Like, also hot werewolf Anna Paquin.
Oh yeah. Jesse, do you want? Let's just transition right into Trick or Treat then.
Yeah, let's go right into it. Yeah.
Thank you, Astraea, for bringing that up. I totally agree with you. Trick or Treat is actually one of my favorites. And you nailed it. The first time I watched it with my brother, and we were totally into it. And then the Anna Paquin and the werewolves in the forest happened, and he looked at me. He's like, I was not expecting that.
Yeah, you
like, me neither, dude. That was amazing.
Because they're like so helpless. Awesome. You're like, oh, this is gonna be another like. They're just all gonna die. He's gonna kill them all. It's just another fucking like.
Right.
Slasher short, and then like turns the tables. Like, love that.
Yeah, absolutely. Just this pack of early 20s women. They're attractive. They're out on town. They're inviting all these random dudes to their party in the forest, and they literally just start ripping off their skin and turning into werewolves. And I'm
so
like,
cool.
holy shit, this is amazing.
For me, like it had me from the first vignette for me. It had me at the first vignette,
With the couple in the house.
Yeah, like it gave me like it gave me a high budget Creepshow feel.
Yeah. Yes.
If that makes any sense, like it was like, okay, this is Creepshow with a higher budget, and I love because it was well acted. The set was amazing, and I love the cheesiness where the guy's like hearing the wife get killed. He's just looking up. He still has the porn.
Why were they watching a VHS?
The snuff porn.
Like the movie came out in like 2008. Like no one was watching VHS. Like what the hell, man?
It confused me. He was like, all right. She's like, all right, go put on the tape.
Yeah. He's like, all right. He's so excited.
I do love like the higher budget too. I like it when stuff is cheesy, but like really good gore and like I don't know, when it has a good budget and it's cheesy, like that's perfect to me. I love it when they kill kids. If you kill kids in it, about it.
Yep. You kill a kid, I'm all about it.
Like poisoned a bunch of fucking kids with arsenic.
That one, it was the kid from Bad Santa that made the pickle. And he just starts like barfing up his guts.
It's like blood and chocolate. He like laced chocolate with arsenic and then like gave it to a bunch of them.
But that's what I like too, is that they played up on that whole thing because like I mean, look, I was born in 81, so growing up on Trick or Treat, every year you heard it. There's razor blades and drugs in the candy. Your parents have to check it. But yet, like, it never happened. Like, everybody said it every year like it did happen. But then, like, when you investigate it, and then now that we have the internet and information now, it's never really happened. And if it did, it was just an extreme one-off, like, type thing. Like, it's never happened. And so the fact that they did it in this movie, like, boom, points in my book. The other thing that I really like is that even though there are 4 different episodes, it's still one self-contained story as a whole that works together as a whole, and it works together in the 4 parts. So it's like a 2-for-1. And I think the quality of the writing on that is something that is very noteworthy. Because that's very hard to do. And I feel like they pulled it off flawlessly in this. And that was one thing that I really, really appreciated on top of everything else we've discussed.
Yeah, I was like surprised because when I first watched it, I just expected it to be like, one of those things where I'm like, one of them is going to be really bad and I'm going to sit through it. And like, I'm just going to like the tiniest bit of it, but I like the whole movie. I was like pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesse, what are your thoughts on Trick or Treat?
For me, I agree. It was something that carried through all the way, which, again, that's kind of the rarity when you watch an anthology movie, because a lot of times it's hit or miss, or you have to watch 2 bad ones to get to the good one and all that stuff. And like I said, like a bummer. But what I think this one had an advantage over anything else is that all the vignettes were written by the same guy.
Yeah.
And it was directed. And I think anytime an anthology is written solely by one person, there seems to be, you would think like, oh my God, that means the talent is stretched out. Maybe this won't be. But this one, it was pretty solid top to bottom. And I even, after watching it, I was like, oh my God, what was this thing rated? Because I was like looking to see what critics rate stuff. Because a lot of times they get beat up. But this one has 82. And I was like,
it was praised. People liked it. Like it was good like that. And I know that's crazy to say, because to your point, and I think all 3 of us can agree, a horror does get a bad rap, and it's really hard to get high marks,
especially an anthology. I mean, because like I said, I'm trying to think of another time where horror anthologies did good in theaters, and it's a very rare. It's a very rare.
Very rare.
It's like I said, I don't think since the Creepshow days. I mean, hell, even Tales of the Crypt, when they did their movies, I mean, even though they were like a one story movie, they didn't do that well.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, which I still love them. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
it's also they had the cute little Trick or Treat thing.
Yes, everybody
Sam.
loved him.
His name's Sam.
Sam,
Everybody
Sam,
loves
yeah. And then he takes off his mask, and what did you say? He was an alien pumpkin
He like
head?
looks like it's like a demon pumpkin like head.
Yeah.
Like, but it also looks like an alien, and he's like slimy, and it's gross, but like I don't know, it's still cute.
I would like
got a cute factor going on, and I love it.
I would like to get a little bit more about him and how he ties in with everything, because they tied the dead special needs kids kind of to the whole story that they died in the bus and they killed those kids that were playing that prank on that girl, but then they were trick-or-treating and they were also killing people who didn't give them the candy, but the trick-or-treat Sam guy wasn't a part of that. So it's like, okay, how does he fit in? We see how
they just kind of have him like walking
fits
around every kind of one you see,
right.
You see him for a second or something.
Right. So we see what everybody else is doing and why, but we don't know anything about him. And it's just like, I want that little bit. Just
is he an alien? Is he a demon? I need to know.
I need this. I need closure.
If does he taste like pumpkin?
I wonder if somebody tried to eat him. Like, what if he
got his arm like cut off and it had little, I don't know, it looked little tendrils. Like I like, it looked like, I don't know, the inside of a squash maybe, or maybe I'm not remembering correctly. But it was like Scarecrow meets pumpkin.
It reminded me of The Thing, where it split apart and then they were alive and then it reconnected.
God, I love them. Cool. I love all the remakes, every single one of them. I don't even care.
The prequel
I can actually tell you guys a little bit about Sam.
Yeah.
Did you look something up on the internet, Jesse?
Yeah, good.
Oh, okay. Okay. Tell us.
I was surprised. I'm surprised I didn't catch this, actually.
Okay.
I feel really, really stupid.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Sam
John,
Hain.
let's pretend we already know.
Yeah. Okay. Ready?
Sam Hain. That's what Sam is short for.
Is what?
Sam Hain. That is that's All Hallows Eve. That's what it means.
So is he supposed to be like the embodiment of that whole thing? Gotcha.
That's why you gotta give him candy or else you'll die.
And
there it is. Hey, Astraea, we already knew that, didn't we?
Yeah, we already knew that.
Yeah, Jesse, you're behind, man. We already knew that.
Yeah. But apparently that's why he enforces the rules of Halloween, because of that.
Okay.
So, okay. I like that.
I like that. Yeah.
I was wondering why he was called Sam, because that never made sense to me. And I just like, all right, on a lark, I'm going to look up what that name means.
I like how you positioned it as he is there to make sure people kind of like observe the rules of Halloween.
That's what
I like that. I like that.
That's what I got from it, because he's always there at the end.
Yeah,
he's like the guardian of trick or treat.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Because I don't know why. Like, I didn't feel
he's literally the Santa of Halloween.
Yes, there you go. Yes,
it's like reverse Santa.
Reverse Santa. I love it.
From you.
That was great. You need to roll with that. That was good. Reverse Santa.
Yeah, because I don't know. Like, did anybody get like an evil feeling of him? I mean, even though like he kills.
I don't know about evil. I would say like mischievous or like
he's a jolly imp.
Yeah,
that'd be a good way. Ooh, yeah, imp. I like that.
He's like, it's like more impish. It's not really evil. It's just like, that's why he's so cute.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, yes, of course you can have candy, little baby. Like yeah, I'm not even scared because like here, now go kill that person. I will bring you to my ex's house and hold on. You don't have to walk there.
Yeah.
I'll just like Uber him around.
Get Sam an Uber, damn it.
He was an interesting character. I liked it. I mean, because like the reason why because I've never, when I first watched this movie, I learned about Sam before I saw the movie. So I was like, oh, this guy's evil. Oh, this guy's this. Oh, this guy. Then I watched it. I'm like, oh,
it's a precocious little scamp.
Yeah, I didn't feel like he was evil at all. I was like, this guy's. He has his rough edges.
Oh, it's so cute.
You know, it's kind of like when a dog bites you. You know.
I also like that when he goes like at the last. Is this the last scene? I can't remember. But like he has a lollipop and he bites the lollipop and makes it like a sickle.
A sickle, yeah.
He's so tiny and cute that's what he's gonna kill you.
Right, with my little sickle sucker that I bit and made it into a sickle.
Now here's my question. Now you brought up a good thing. Did he kill the woman at the beginning? Because that's how she dies.
Yeah.
I think that's implied that.
Yeah. because it's the sucker. But then they kept always showing the POV across the street. So
well,
Sam doesn't like snuff films. That's the only thing is like.
Oh wait, no,
she can't watch
Halloween.
a snuff film, and you have to give candy.
Yeah, she was being prudy about Halloween, even though she was going to give sex to her husband. She was still being a prude about Halloween. So he was like, "This bitch has got to go."
And she was taking down Halloween decorations on Halloween.
On Halloween. He was not having that. He was like, "Nope, we're done with this."
You have angered the Guardian.
I hate that I just figured that out just now. I don't know why that did.
I'm really glad that you just did because like I forgot. I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah, I was just like thinking, like, why did he kill her? Like, I never got. Then I'm like, oh, you idiot! She took down the stuff. I mean,
she's the Grinch of Halloween.
She is. So I guess the moral of the story is murder people if they take your decorations down.
Yes.
But right now, me and Sarah, we've had our decorations up since March, so we have it up year round. So
I gotta let my cat in. He's meowing. Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah. So, we got married on Halloween, so it's like Halloween Central at my place at all times. We have like
mine is just like literally like Poison Ivy's lair constantly.
Sorry, I don't like have to walk away during the live
like
show.
That. But... No, you're good. But yeah. So, anyways, we got one more. We got time for one more.
Jesse, let's do this because we are coming up on time. And look, we can talk more about American Horror Story because there's so much to unpack there. But let's do this. Let's just spend the last time each one of us pick our favorite season and why. That way we can encourage people to maybe check that out this Halloween. Hey, here's my favorite one. Here's why. And then maybe we can unpack more on a later episode. Whether it's a Halloween episode or not, it doesn't have to be Halloween for us to talk about horror. We love horror.
Yeah, we do.
We'll come back to American Horror Story. But I think it would be great, though, for us to talk about just for the remaining, we got 7-8 minutes left. Let's just talk about our favorite ones. Astraea, why don't you go first? You're our guest. What's your favorite egg?
I have to think about this.
Okay, do you want to do Jesse first while you think?
Yeah, let me think.
Jesse, go ahead. What's your favorite?
I'm not going to say the second one or the third one because I feel like that's just an obvious answer because those two, in my opinion, are top tier.
Well, if that's your favorite, that's your favorite. You don't have to placate us. Tell us.
I'm going to say the second season. I have to say the second season is my favorite. I love Asylum. I think from start to top to bottom, great season.
I agree.
Great storylines with every character. It was scary. It was freaky. I love that crazy Santa.
Yeah.
Like he's just such a creeper. Lily Ray for once isn't underused. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, like she was so good in that.
Like every other season after that, they're like, all right, Lily, you're gonna be here for 2 seconds and you're gone. All right.
They always make her like the fragile little bird.
They never give her something good to do anymore. Like even in this new season, I didn't really like what she had to do. I felt like
I liked it.
I didn't want her to like get that I wanted her to be badass. I just wanted her to be badass.
You knew from the first episode she was doomed. They were setting it up from the very
I wanted
first
her I want her to be badass like she was in 84 when she was kind of the Mrs. Voorhees character.
Yeah.
Like for me, she grounded that ending season.
Or wait, now that we're talking about when she was Eileen Wuornos.
Oh yeah, that was.
I forget about that season.
I would love to see a whole movie with her.
That season was just Lady Gaga. Like that wasn't even American Horror Story. But she was like Eileen. She played a badass Eileen Wuornos.
I would love to see that. See her do her own movie. I mean, it's hard because Charlize Theron. I mean, she did it, but still. But anyways, I'm gonna go with Asylum. Love Asylum. Great.
Love it too. Real quick though, Jesse. My criticism of Asylum is the alien part. I don't think that was necessary. Sense. It didn't lead to really anything that was meaningful to the rest of the season.
Classic Ryan Murphy.
Yeah, it was just weird. Like I was like, oh, really? Like you didn't need this. You had the whole possession demon thing. Let's just go with that. You had Nazi guy that got exposed and killed himself.
They didn't tie a bow in it. They just left it.
Yeah.
By the way,
it was just weird.
Lily Ray's my favorite line from her. So did you guys sing songs around your little Nazi Christmas tree? she's like pissing with him, and I love how she kept fucking with him the whole time.
I love when she's fucking the priest, and she's just totally like humiliating him the entire time while he's having sex for the first time, doesn't know what to even think, like he's going through all this, and she's just messing with him the whole time. It was great. I
got
was
to do
fantastic.
a burlesque number to that scene, like, and I was
nice.
Awesome. All right, so who else? Who's going
Astraea,
next?
you ready, or you want me to go?
I will go, but I also have one thing about freaking Ryan Murphy.
Go ahead, air out your grievances.
It's fucking like that shit where like there's too much shit and then he doesn't tie a bow. Like you're just like, okay, well that was a waste of was a waste of my fucking energy for 2 episodes and it meant nothing.
Yeah, he went nowhere with
it's
this.
not, or either I know it meant nothing, it was just thrown away, or it was never talked about again.
Yep.
And the season is still going. The season has 8 more episodes, and now we're gonna ignore that. We're gonna pretend that didn't happen.
Right.
I hate that. Second of all, stop spreading the gay agenda. Everybody's gay. Really? No, but like literally every single like you're like, oh, this is definitely Ryan Murphy. Like it's everybody's gay. Listen,
but Macaulay Culkin was great as a gay prostitute.
Honestly, I did like that.
Yes.
Just like, holy fucking shit, we get it. Everybody's fucking gay. It's like excessive. Like, I'm not being a dick. I'm just like, whoa, this is like it almost like throws you out of like immersing yourself completely into it because he's like pushing it too much. Like, it just throws me out of it a little bit. Nothing against it. It's just like it's like everything is gay all the time.
Didn't BD Wong play a gay vampire in Apocalypse? I didn't watch that season, but I might have to because I'm a BD Wong fan, and I need to watch that.
He did.
I don't remember.
I need to watch. I think he did. My wife was telling me about that.
My issue with Ryan Murphy is this only: his seasons are becoming a parody of his own show. That's my biggest.
Really is.
Like I feel like.
The American Horror Stories show was dog shit.
I haven't watched any of those.
Didn't even give that a shot.
Don't even watch it. It's literally like I was pissed off. It's all horrible.
Okay.
But anyways, Astraea, did you give us your
Sorry, I had to get that out.
She went on her Ryan Murphy rant.
I agree. I could go hours with her.
You know, I can't.
I mean, I love the guy, but
sometimes
it's just like
okay, like this is of course like I'm gonna say Coven because you said Asylum, and it's like for obvious I like campy shit, but like more than anything I like bitches, and everybody is a huge bitch in that.
Yeah,
I love it, and there's so many like good like bitchy one-liners and so many got her, got 'ems. Like I love that. And like who fucking plays the voodoo priestess?
Oh God. Oh my God, what's her name?
I know. I want her to be Storm in the MCU, but that'll never fucking happen.
Oh, it's her initials are A and B. That's all I know.
Angela Bassett.
Bassett, thank you.
Angela Bassett in that. Her character fucking I'm forgetting. Wow, why can't I remember anybody's name? Sorry. I had a facial and a massage and I can't fucking think. I'm so sore. Fucking Kathy Bates. Like, you know what I mean?
Racist as fuck.
Everybody was just, and she was like, it was super racist.
Right.
And everybody got what was coming to them. Like nobody didn't get what was coming to them.
Yeah.
Like that's also one thing that I liked. I feel like every bow was tied in that one because it was like, I don't know. I think you should just keep going with that. Just stay in bitchy Coven land. That's what you do, Ryan Murphy. Don't do anything else.
I love when Kathy Bates' character is watching the inauguration of Barack Obama. She starts crying. No,
that was super funny. Also, like, I really feel like that Ryan Murphy owes me money for Madison Montgomery because, like, what the fuck? That's me.
Yep, that's you. Sorry, that is you. Anyway, so John, what's yours?
All right. It was Asylum until we had this great season called 1984. And again, 80s. Here's why. we all agree that there are story trails that go off that don't get closed. And we all agree that oftentimes in American Horror Story, the endings are really rushed. There's not a lot of closure or buildup. 1984 has 3 episodes dedicated to wrapping it up and ending it. It's the most securely covered ending of all of them.
I'll give you that.
He did that on purpose because he's like, oh, everyone's criticizing me for this, so I'm going to make sure.
Yes. I
agree with you there.
And, not only for the slasher aspect, but it takes place in different decades. And then they hit you out of left field with this whole other piece to it, that anybody who dies there becomes a ghost and they're stuck there. That's like a whole nother thing in itself. And I like that they explored that. And then they fast forward in time and other people are investigating the camp and they see these ghosts. And then we bring in, what's his face? Night Stalker guy. I was like, oh my God, this
he
is
was
incredible.
Really hot. I was into that.
And then when the girl's getting married and her husband is like, oh, you were cheating on me. I'm going to kill everybody in this wedding and it's your fault. I'm like, holy shit, what's happening right now?
I forgot about that. Yeah.
And, I love American Horror Story intros. I love all the subliminal messaging, all the theory music and all that. For 1984 was awesome. It had the 80s vibe. It had the
it had the 80s. Yeah, I like
the tracking, the 80s.
Okay, I'm sorry I fart. I'm sorry I made a fart noise. You're actually right.
So I loved 84. And like I said, that came, until 84, I love Freak Show, but I always said Asylum was the best. But when 84 came out, that's my favorite. Now, I really liked part 1 of this newer season. Part 2 with the aliens, I think they're being campy on purpose with the now. I love the past stuff with Eisenhower and all that. That was awesome.
I thought that was cool.
It was really cool. But I think the present stuff, I think they're being really cheesy and over the top on purpose. And I think that'll self-correct itself as we go. But 84, absolutely my favorite season, hands down. And it has the best closure out of any of them that were made.
I will give you that. Yeah, I like, because the only thing I didn't like about 84 was just they got too jokey. That was my only thing that hurt me.
Okay, I'll accept that.
That was just the one line about the guy. He was like, "Oh yeah, I was in the Jane Fonda exercise tape, but my dick was so big." And I'm just like, oh, come on.
They made that season was very Scream Queensy. If you've seen,
that's it.
Yeah.
I literally, there were some parts of Scream Queens where I was just this is too cheesy for me, but I still loved it. Mainly because Emma Roberts, it was basically watching a dumb Madison Montgomery. So I was super into it. I was she's a bitch. I love it. I'll watch the whole thing.
Yep.
And that, first of all, in that, the scene where it's the blood drive scene where she's running with Jamie Lee Curtis and they're trying to put the magnet on the board to win the blood drive or some shit. That was one of the funniest things I've ever fucking seen in my life. Do you know what I'm talking about? Sorry to switch to that, but
no. You didn't.
But that show was purposely so cheesy and over the top, where it's cringy, but it's bitchy enough to get away with it. But then when he tried to implement that into 1984, it was just I hope that guy dies.
Yeah. Well, hey, right now we're running out of time, but I want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in today. Ryan, Tom, Nigel for commenting, Def as well. Thank you so much. I want to give a big thank you to Astraea for joining us. Everybody give it a round of applause. And you can catch her Saturday, October 9th, to Saturday, Bitchcraft, a showcase of Femme Fatales. I said it Italian. Sorry, that's how you say it. Anytime I see, because Natale, it rhymes with Natale, so I feel like an idiot. Sorry, guys. I had to do it for
Pimpinella.
I knew I wasn't going to. I knew as soon as I did that, I'm like, everybody's going to be like, look at this Italian bastard. Anyways, check out the Double Dane Variety Show hosted by her and Griffin, Thursday, October 21st. Then the Glitter Boys Halloween Comedy Showcase at Shrunken Head, Saturday, October 23rd.
There's a lot of them, sorry.
And Who's a What's Their Face Halloween show at AWOL, Thursday, the 28th. And the big one, Blomedy Monster Mash Halloween Variety Show and Costume Party at Shrunken Head, October 30th. All right, you heard it here. So Make sure you go on and check it on out. I also want to say, I just want to give a quick shout out to everybody listening as well, because thank you guys so much this weekend. You guys, and John as well, thank you so much for sharing the status.
Oh, you're welcome. You deserve it, man.
Yes, because we hit number 1 on Amazon. I thought that was really, really awesome.
Several days.
It was up. It went October 1st at 1 a.m. and then went all the way till until the 3rd. So we were
proud
number
of
1.
you.
Thank you. Yeah. So everybody pick up your copy. You can go to my website, www.jessepimpinella.com. So thank you, everybody, for supporting that. It means the world to me. But anyways, tune in next week. We got a fun show for you. We have a bunch of things planned. John and I will have to talk about which topic we're going to go with next week. Oh, no, we actually do have it. We're talking serial killers.
Yeah. And who's going to be our special guest?
Oh, Johnny Smith and Dan Brady, 2 very funny guys. They do a podcast all about serial killing. Yep. And now with the news about the Zodiac killers being found, we're in for a very good episode. So tune in. And until next time, I'm Jesse.
And I'm John.
And you've been sitting at the grown-ups table. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening, everybody. Take care.
Night.
Happy spooky season, everyone.